Okay, guys, so our presentation is going to be on situation monitoring.
As with a lot of processes, situation monitoring is a continual process. That is, this is something that must be done constantly in order to maintain advancement. It's critical that the advancement of the situation is closely observed to gain understanding and awareness of changes happening around you. Keeping track of the progress being made in the situation will allow your team to make the best next decision to become a step closer towards your goals. Lack of awareness of the situation could ultimately cause no progression and in some cases could be potentially harmful depending on the overall goal.
So situation awareness versus situational monitoring, these two terms are definitely related, although they're a little bit different from one another. So situational monitoring is just making sure that any new information that comes in is well communicated with everybody on the team. And so it's more like an active process. And then situational awareness is just sort of the state of knowing everything that's going on that could potentially be affecting your job. Some barriers to this would be just kind of the fact that we can only hold so many things in our brain at any one time. And so we have to have systems in place to sort of combat that. And then outcomes of doing this well would be that we'd be less likely to miss things that could potentially harm patients and then better able to respond to things quickly.
The concept of a shared mental model is basically related to the idea that team performance will improve if a group of team members have a shared understanding of the task that they're about to perform. So teams can develop this shared mental model by kind of just being together as a team, training together, planning their projects as a team instead of just relying on one person to plan everything, and also reviewing performance on a particular project or task after it's completed.
When to share. In any team geared towards monitoring, communication is important. An important part of communication is knowing when to share vital information with your teammates. An obstacle to this could be finding the time to actually share. This is when quick gatherings such as huddles come in handy. These short periods of time are best used when summarized facts and updates are the focus. These briefings must be done frequently and effortlessly in order to be as up to date on information as possible. Lack of these meetings will create confusion in the team, and it is vital for everyone who in the team. It is vital for everyone knows. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It is vital that everyone knows what team members are doing and any updates that have come in order to avoid possible disturbances to goals and patient outcomes.
All right, so tools and strategies. So essentially what we do implement here in the situation monitoring is that we have STEP, we have cross monitoring, and we have the I am safe checklist. So I bet you're asking what STEP. So STEP essentially stands for S, status of the patient. So example would be the patient history and vitals. T for team members. So example of that would be fatigue in the work area or certain employees getting overloaded with work. E for environment, and that would be examples of that as well would be equipment and administrative information. And P for progress towards goal. So essentially status of the team's patients. So with cross monitoring, it is essentially a tool that's set up for the medical providers to be able to catch the fine details that slip through the cracks. So examples of these would be monitoring the actions, providing a safety net for all your teammates, making sure that mistakes are not overlooked and are caught before it becomes an issue, and always, most importantly, have each other's back. And last but not least, I am safe checklist, which is essentially another way for all of us as providers to hold each other accountable and hold ourselves accountable and essentially put our safety in our own hands. So I'm safe stands for I, illness, M, medications, S, stress, A, alcohol and drugs, F, fatigue, and E, eating and elimination.
All right, everybody, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you guys so much for listening.